Hey YouTubers, welcome back to Desert Have a Garden. We are finally back up at the High Desert Homestead after a long month away. We've just been doing life, and life can become very busy and hectic. But the good news is we did hit 1,000 subscribers during that month, and that's a huge milestone for anyone with a YouTube channel. So I am totally appreciative of all of you for helping us reach that milestone. Now, you may recall in the last video that everything in the garden had gotten attacked by a late spring frost. May frost up here at the High Desert Homestead, and things were looking a little brown and dead with the exception of the asparagus. So you see the asparagus is nicely ferning here, and so that looks good, but you can see other greenery. We have life. Down here are sweet meat squash. All three of the plants survived. I really didn't think that was going to happen. Now, they don't look great and they haven't grown a ton, but they are still alive. And you look in here and it looks like they've got some little flowers getting ready to get started there. Now, the lemon cucumber, that one definitely didn't make it. That's just dry there. And this one over here, not too optimistic. But there's our sunflower there facing the setting sun, and it looks nice and green. It's not very thick or tall, but there it is. Looks like something enjoyed a little nibble out of it, some sort of a insect. And then in the back, I think, was another cucumber. That one's dead. And over here we have an early girl tomato, and you can see that it's actually coming back to life here. I didn't think this would happen because it was so browned. But there it is. It does have some little dead branches. We'll pinch off and pull off here, kind of trim it up. And the dirt over here in the garden looks a little on the dry side, so my husband's going to check and see if the water tank ran out of water while we've been up here. It is kind of dry down in the soil. But what we have is when we're here, we fill up the water tank. It's a 2,500 gallon water tank. We fill it up with water from the well, but when we're gone, that doesn't replenish. So we count on that water, and then it's gravity fed over here to the garden. So if we don't have enough water pressure, it doesn't really gravity feed that well, or it could have just run empty. So he's over there with the generator to run the pump in order to fill back up the water tank and make sure that we're getting good water pressure over here to water the few remaining plants that are still alive in our garden. What do you have going on over here?
I'm fixing the belt on the go-kart.
Okay, because it had gotten burnt and small on one spot?
Yep.
What do you have there?
Toolbox buddy, using it to lube up the shaft right here to slide the clutch gear thing in. Slide it in and get the bolt. Just like that, it's fixed.
Right on. Time for some go-karting?
Mama, guess what? I saw lizards and...
You should come over to the deck. There's 40,000 of them on there. You gotta watch where you step because they're all over the place.
How many PSI does that take?
40 or 20.
Right on. And that has a gauge on it?
Yep.
Oh, that's handy. What's next?
Starting it and maybe cleaning the carburetor.
probably far enough. Where are you going? No, too tall. You have to get in with the truck first.
You just need to get right there. I'll say, what? 1%, 2. Not yet.
You have to wait.
I'm after you guys. I'm this way. That's perfect. I like that sound.
Lost a hat.
Lost the way.
His hat. Yeah. We have a defunct, rejected pair of stairs here that were built for our neighbor's cabin that have just been making their way around the ranch because they're so short.
It's gonna become a horseshoe pit now.
There you go. We're here for the lizard tour. Let's go check it out.
Can we see the little guy?
Oh yeah, way out on the end there.
Told you, they're all over the place.
Oh, he ran off.
No, he didn't. Now he did. Oh, he jumped all the way down these good stairs.
Careful.
Are they attached?
Yes. They're even bigger. Well, I guess Louie's not used to regular stairs.
The new stairs.
They're not done.
User friendly. Let's check it out. There's no handrail.
Or he's gone. Oh, he's not.
Oh yeah,
There.
the stairs work. Good job, Steve. Good job. Finding any lizards down there? Maybe when the sun comes out, they'll come sun themselves.
Oh, they were all over the place this morning. I sat in the hammock for quite a while, and they're bugging all over the deck.
The view out here is great from our neighbor's cabin. He looks out across the canyon over there. It's just really a pretty view.
There, good night.
Sam got one.
Oh, did she get one?
I want it.
Oh no!
Side.
Right there.
It jumped.
Thing is fat. Right there.
It's on the rock. It's probably gonna dive under.
Let me get in the hole. See? Under, over here. Mike, come out here. It's right there. It keeps on jumping. Find something called the jumping one. Right there. See his head?
Did you get it?
feel him?
Don't let his tail rip off. Hold on to him.
Oh, he got stuck in a spider web.
Oh, get him out. You can't leave him stuck in a spider web.
Come on, little guy. Okay, he's out.
One of the things we need to do in order to make progress on the cabin is to finish backfilling the basement hole with dirt, and we also have to mound up quite a bit because it's above ground level. So we need to mound up around the basement, and we felt like we didn't have enough fill dirt to do that, and so we were looking into options of having someone bring dump truck loads of dirt. Well, all the companies around here only work during the weekday, and we work during the weekday, so it's too much for us to take time off work in order to come out here and meet someone to dump dirt. And we found someone who's out on the ranch who is able to do the dirt for us. He has his own dump truck and backhoe and fill dirt on his own property just down the way from us a little bit. However, he wanted to charge $175 per load, which was about 9 cubic yards. And that's a little bit more than we wanted to pay right now for this service. So we thought that instead of doing that, we would try and see if we can scrape up some more dirt around here in order to complete the task. So we've got the backhoe out. We have to move the screed. So over here behind me, you can see a rock pile where we've been sifting dirt already, but now we're going to take that screed over to another place where we have more dirt and rocks that can be sifted, and we're hoping that we can sift out some more and get some more usable dirt that we can backfill with. So let's see what we can do. The day is beginning to wind down. We've made it to nearly 3 blocks high over here, and the front lip is 3 blocks, so that's where we're filling to, and same thing with this side. So most of the dirt work is done on these sides, however we still have the back 2 walls to complete. But the sun's starting to set, people are starting to get hungry, and I've got some Hoppin' John, my variation of it, over here on the burner at the barbecue, because it is a pretty warm day today. I think it's about 85 degrees, and we don't have air conditioner or swamp cooler or anything in the trailer, so it's even warmer than that inside the trailer. And if I run sorry, we've got the kid over on the go-kart there. If I run the stove inside, it really heats it up even more. So it's convenient having this barbecue out here. And so my variation of Hoppin' John is black-eyed peas, garlic, onions, celery, and some chicken broth. And then towards the end of the cooking, I'm going to throw in some sliced hot links, so sausage, in order to get that going. So we've got this heating up over here while Rick made you a couple more loads of dirt, and the kids are out on the go-kart, and I'm looking at a beautiful sky, beautiful clouds. Really, it doesn't get much better than this. I got the pot to a nice boil and turned it down so it can simmer. And this will take some time because these started out as hard beans, and there was a little bit of prep this morning. So when I was making breakfast, I boiled these beans in a pot of water and then turned it off and let them sit all day. Then I rinsed them before it was time to start cooking for dinner. That reduces the cooking time. So I'm going to allow these to cook a bit longer, maybe about 20 minutes, and check on the peas, see if they're soft, and once they're soft, I'll add in that sausage. All right, I just stirred in the sausage and get those mixed in there, and we'll allow it to simmer a little bit longer, and we will be all set. All right, our soup is all ready. You can see that it's nice and chunky with a clear broth. This is really a super easy meal to make when you're camping, or if you're using a cast iron over the campfire. And it's really nice hearty dinner, super easy to make. Also works out well for busy weeknights to keep everybody fed. It's good for cooking for a crowd. So I'll get it all served up here, and we'll see what the family thinks. Like it? What do you guys think of the soup? Is it good?
Love it.
You love it?
Me too.
Nobody's asking you, Steve.
This is amazing.
It's the best
All right, let's eat
dinner
up.
I've ever had.
What do you mean? Yeah, it is.
There, scared
Nope,
the fly off of
it's
it.
not working for you. Still no black-eyed peas for Steve. He can't do it. Dang it. He's brave enough to go in for another bite.
Just for the sausage part of it. I hate to admit it, sorry Mom, but this is way better than yours. Still disgusting.
He just doesn't like black-eyed peas. First Hoppin' John, then cupcakes.
What do you think, Louie?
The sky out here this evening is just epic. It's so pretty with all these clouds. All day it's kind of been threatening to storm, but it hasn't. Earlier we got a couple little sprinkles, but it really has just been a gorgeous and perfect day for us. Now check this out. Last night we got a little sprinkling of rain, and I scattered about some mulch into the garden bed, cleaned off some dead leaves, and now this morning the sweetmeat squash has a flower. Now it's only a male, so there's no females for it to pollinate just yet, but in my experience with squash, that's how it always begins, is I usually get several male flowers that bloom first, and then it'll put on the female fruits and the male flowers, and so they're able to pollinate. But this is good news in the garden. It looks like we may get some happy harvest yet. The backhoe was losing power again at the end of the day yesterday, and so it's still kind of that ongoing problem with the fuel system. So the fuel restrictor is getting cleaned out again, and then we will be back at it, sifting dirt and filling back up the hole. Over there?
A little bit.
In order to hang the door on the well pump house, as well as finish laying the remainder of blocks that would go over the door, Rick built this metal tray at home at his shop in order to bolt into the side of the blocks.
Oh. Yeah, I measured it down here.
Oh, it gets narrower up there?
Yeah, baby. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Grab a hammer, Keegan.
Okay.
It's a lot like work. Once you make yourself useful and push up on this, Steve.
I don't know if I'm qualified for that.
Probably not. We're good.
Well, that's a wrap for a weekend. I am going to say that overall we had a really successful weekend. We were able to complete the dirt work. We got it down to 3 blocks below the top of the basement, level all the way around, and it looks nice. It's really cool to have the ground covered back up. So it used to be just like these holes that we'd fall in, and rocks and uneven, and now it just looks really nice. I'll take you around the whole thing. The weather has been really nice, a little bit of a breeze, and there's kind of been some storm clouds, a little bit of sprinkling off and on, but really just gorgeous weather. So you can see this is all filled in nicely. There is one area over here that's not completely filled in, right here, because that is where our septic run out, or whatever it's called, it goes right there. So we didn't fill that area because we have to run the pipes out and all that good stuff. But we are so ready for the next step, which is going to be getting the footers prepared to pour concrete for the actual cabin. So I'm excited that that's coming up. We were able to help out our neighbor a little bit, have some fun time with the kids, get the support for the door frame and additional blocks set up for the pump house, and overall it was just a really nice weekend. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates in the future.